there, friend. I'm so excited you're here. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into our presentation because I don't want to waste a minute of your precious time. I want to seriously thank you for carving out time for yourself today. Before we dive in, I want to acknowledge something. You showed up in the middle of a busy life and perhaps a middle of a heavy season. You carved out time for you, and that alone shows incredible strength. As Gen X women, we prioritize self-sufficiency. We are the I'll just handle it generation. But we're here to talk about something that can feel heavy, navigating the holidays post-divorce. And my goal today is to help you tap back into your joy and realize that you have the power to recreate this season. I want to start by checking in. Your needs today depend entirely on where you are on your journey. Some of you are on the path A. You just a few months out. This might be your very first holiday alone. It feels raw, and you need survival tools to navigate all the powerful emotions and give yourself the resources to feel better now, not next week. Others are on path B. You've been divorced 2 years or more, and the dust has settled, but you're trying to shift the long-term perspectives and take back your power and decide what you want to do next. The good news, the strategies we're covering today work for both. So please stay connected and be clear on what you want to take away from this conversation today. To get the most out of our time together, I have a small request. Can you commit to staying present? As Gen X women, we're masters of multitasking. But for the next 60 minutes, I'm inviting you to put your phone down, close the extra tabs, and give your nervous system a break and just be here. Also, grab a pen and paper. When we write something down, it tells our subconscious that it's important. Ready? Let's dive into the heart of the matter. Let's get real for a second. After a divorce, the holidays can trigger what I call the brain's protest. You might find yourself obsessing over the past, remembering traditions you did for 20 or 30 years. Suddenly, those traditions are gone, and your brain starts sounding the alarm. This looks like rumination. It looks like self-sabotage. It looks like intrusive thoughts of, I should have done more. If that's you, take a deep breath. Nothing has gone wrong. You are not broken. This is just your brain trying to keep you safe by clinging to old familiar patterns. You're going back to what feels safe, not what feels good. So, how do we handle this protest? We stop running. We grew up in a time, in a generation that was told, build a bridge and get the hell over it. But in this work, we know that grief ignored doesn't disappear. It just shows up when you least expect it. It's like this precious little toddler hanging on your leg screaming, Mommy, 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 pay attention to me. It will refuse to be ignored. Whether you chose the divorce or it was chosen for you, you're severing a bond, and that hurts. So give yourself permission to say, this hurt. Then acknowledge the pain. Find a way to express that pain. It's a critical step in the process. Whether it is through journaling, prayer, or whatever works for you, because when we allow ourselves to express the pain, it can start to be released. Once we admit the hurt, we get to go to the next step, awareness. When your brain is running sneaky scripts in the background, like I'll always be alone at Christmas, it controls you. But the moment you shine the flashlight on that thought, you take back the power. It's like flipping the switch and shutting down that belief that doesn't serve you. And it turns the light on awareness back with me for just a moment. When those heavy thoughts show up, like I ruined the holidays for my kids, don't believe it. Cross-examine it. Ask yourself, is this actually true? Is this thought benefiting me? And if the answer is no, we need to boot that thought out of there. It's not working for you anymore. We need to give your brain new evidence and show it new possibilities so that it has an alternative to the negative thought to replace it. We can often get stuck thinking, this happened to me. I want to invite you to try on a new idea. Try on the thought, what if this happened for me? I know that's hard to swallow sometimes, but these negative spirals are just patterns. They're not your character and doesn't make you a negative person. You just have a negative program running, and that program can be uninstalled. Ladies, let's talk about the good girl. I see you. I hear you. And I know that's how I was. We are praised for being selfless with statements like, you're such a good girl. You're so helpful. But when we carry that into adulthood, it becomes a cage. We stop asking for what we want because we're afraid of not being seen as good. I want to give you permission today. You can be a good person and still have healthy boundaries. How many of you spent your entire marriage anticipating your spouse's needs before he even asked? I did it. I thought that made me a good wife. I thought my happiness was dependent on his happiness. That is the all or nothing trap. We think if the holiday isn't perfect for everyone else, then it's a failure for us. We have to break that. When we can start to embrace the good enough philosophy, a huge weight is lifted off of us. What does good enough look like for you? Here's your new mantra for the season, both and. I love that. It gives you the opportunity to look at things in a new way. You can be grateful for your freedom and sad you're alone. You can be excited for new traditions and grieve the old ones. Healing isn't a straight line. You don't have to choose between happy and sad. You're big enough to hold both. When we can embrace this strategy, it frees us and helps us to find the healing in the middle. Let's look at the Instagram worthy holiday. The perfect tree, the perfect turkey. If you skip the 5-hour meal prep and order pizza and watch a movie in your pajamas? Did you fail or did you prioritize your peace? Ask yourself this question regarding every tradition this year. Is this a burden or a joy? If it's a burden, you have permission to let it go. When I rebuilt my holiday, I stripped it down to three pillars. Connection. Who do I actually want to see? Gratitude. What do I actually have? True self. Am I doing this for me or for show? Perfection isn't on the list, ladies, because as you know perfectly well, perfection is not possible. We have come a long way, beautiful ladies. We have forgotten something, how fierce we are. You have navigated careers, raised children, managed households, and survived a divorce. You know how to do hard things. Reconnect with that woman. She needs you to tell her it's going to be okay. And surround yourself with other people that can encourage you in this time of transition. We grew up the generation of latchkey kids. We are hyper independent and we think, I'll just figure it out on my own. But I don't want you to white knuckle it through this. Support accelerates your growth. You don't have to take the long way around the mountain. Give yourself permission to be cared for. The most amazing part of this whole transition from marriage to divorced and single is this. Yes, it's challenging, but it's also a blank canvas. And when you embrace this as an opportunity, that world is your playground. You get to explore new things, decide what works for you in this next chapter. You get to ask the question you haven't asked in 20 years. What do I want? Not what the kids want, not what the ex wants. What do you want your new life to look like? We are halfway through our lives. Let's make the next half our best half. This is about installing a new operating system, one based on joy, not obligation. Tear down the old beliefs holding you back. Your new operating system gets to be defined by you and no one else. I'd like to share something else with you today. What do you say? If you're listening to this and thinking, I want that freedom, but I don't want to do it alone, here's my invitation. You can keep guessing, or we can walk this together. I have opened spots in my 12-week coaching program where we can do this deep subconscious work together. Or we can hop on a free strategy call and just map out what your next steps will look like. The most important thing is to know you're capable and you deserve to be treated with kindness. If you want to learn more about the programs or the call, head on over to Thriving After Us website and you can review the information and make a decision based on that.